Starting.
Great. Awesome.
Hello, welcome to the Virtual Wellness School / Retreat Center. We're here with Suzan, who has been on a wellness journey with me since forever, right?
Yeah, many moons.
What's the reason you are interested in coffee enemas? Like, what even inspired you? 'Cause it's so taboo for most people, right?
Yeah, I've definitely mentioned it to quite a few folks, and it's always piqued their interest. Like, what? Lots of questions. My first exposure to it was when we did those wellness days together. It was like an all-female wellness day, and you were offering it for folks. And I was a little shy at the time to get into it, but since then, I've always been like, what is that about? Like, could that really be an effective way to help cleanse myself and just kind of in a more quick way as opposed to taking it the slow route. So from there, I did a little of my own research, and then I did get my own coffee enema kit and everything, which I have. And then I've tried it, and now I've tried it with an intention, and it's definitely had its health benefits for sure.
So this is not your first time doing it?
No, not my first time. And so it's but I still feel like a novice to it, and it still feels like I'm not doing it right every time. So I just want to make sure I'm getting the steps and, fully knowing the benefits, so that way I know what I'm doing when I actually do it.
Yeah, That's awesome. Yeah, I'm such a believer. I was introduced to it 5 years ago when my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and we were looking at different alternative remedies for cancer specifically, and we found the Gerson therapy, and it was just, we came from the East, where enemas, been around for thousands of years. Like anywhere that's not in the West, Americanized, enemas are a very common, normal thing to do. Like I said, thousands of years. And we were like, okay, we'll try anything right now. And the more we learned about it, understanding that, our body is amazing. It does cleanse itself. It does get rid of all the toxins. But we are living in the 21st century, where we're exposed to so many more toxins than we have ever before. Not just, if we choose to eat organic or non-organic, not just if we choose to live in a more chemical free way, but the toxins around us, from the carcinogens, the cars driving, the airplanes, all of that is slowly, it's just a little bit at a time, right? Like a little bit there, a little bit there, a little mercury there. And over time it accumulates, and your body's kind of like, So I find this to be a really great preventative before our bodies are too intoxicated where they can't work well, function like a good old machine with its oil. So it's basically kind of, to me, almost like an oil change for a car. You gotta keep your gears running. You gotta, so I think what you learned is the benefits. Do you know exactly how it works? Why coffee enema? And give me a stab.
Well, I just felt like coffee felt natural because I've been experienced with coffee, and I know from my regular coffee consumption in the past that it'll 4 minutes. It's like a timer, and then it's like I gotta go. So I was like, okay, well, if we're gonna just go the other way with it, then of course it's gonna irritate my system, and then totally do it. But it felt like it wasn't so far off. It wasn't a weird thing to introduce to my body, because I've already had coffee in the past.
Yeah, exactly. So just a quick explanation of what it actually does. So it is green coffee, so it's not roasted, so it's a little less it's more gentle. When you see it, it's actually the color is just a mild light kind of greenish yellow, so it's not that dark black roast. Highly recommend anyone who's watching not to try the dark coffee roast. I know that it's not harmful because, again, you're consuming it through your mouth. So, but this is the method that I studied and the method I was introduced, and there's tons of varieties that you can buy. I just bought some grounded ones already because I didn't want to do the work, but usually you can buy bulk of beans and then grind them, and it lasts for months. I like to do it once a week, once a month. I really don't have a regimen, but what it does is, here's one of the coffee greens. What it does is it travels to your liver actually, and your blood circulates through your liver every 3 minutes fully, and it pumps the bile out of the blood, out of the liver. So it's kind of giving that irritation, like you said, to the liver, where it's like pumping and squeezing out that bile, squeezing out those toxins to like let it all come out. So yeah, it's simple as that. Yeah. So you got all the ingredients. You have you have a metal bucket.
I have this metal bucket with its tube.
Yes. Nice. You already know how to put it together.
Yes. So definitely have that part. I
like to cleanse my bucket in between with hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
Just because in between uses, I think is the best way.
Okay.
And then other than that, you need like a strainer to strain. And I measure 4 cups of filtered water. Okay. Is that how you've been doing it?
I've been doing it with distilled. Yeah. So just distilled water. And then I have this detox. It's backwards, but detox organic green enema coffee. So there's this one, and it's already ground up, and it's lasted me actually quite some time because I've used it quite a few times. But yeah, and then this exactly. And then the fun other little parts.
And then what's your regime like afterwards?
After I do the process, right? Definitely drink water. That's because I'm always feeling like a little heated afterwards. Like my body just went through a whole thing, and then it's a whole process too afterwards. So definitely I try to drink plenty of water following that. I eat light intentionally because one time I did not eat light and I did not feel very well after that. And I was like, oh man, so I was like, okay, next time I do it, I'm not gonna eat heavy or anything like that. So eat light, and then I just felt so much better. Afterwards, it's like I just felt glowing, which is really a great feeling. Yeah.
What I recommend is everything you said, perfect. I do recommend increasing your probiotic intake. So this is just one option. I found this at Sprouts or Whole Foods in the cold section, and it says 100 billion. So you're definitely cleansing your flora a little bit. So it's always good to replenish with good probiotics. And then I also recommend some juices, pre-juiced, just to show you. I've got celery juice, I've got a watermelon juice, I've got a melon juice.
Yum.
So according to the Gerson, I mean, we're not fully doing the Gerson therapy because there's so more that they put into it with supplements and all kinds of things. But one of the big things is they do emphasize on juices and having, juice throughout the day to replenish. And my camera just switched to the nice one, and also the probiotics. So it's something to try. If you're really going all the way for like a full cleanse, then why not, right? And then wait for eating a meal later in the evening. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Have you ever done it at other times besides the morning?
Morning is my best time to do it. That's like usually when I have my me time. Yeah, if I tried it in the evening sometimes, but it just doesn't work with my like regular routine.
Did it affect your sleep or anything? I'm just curious.
Um, well, because I ate heavy that one time, so
Oh,
that's why it's not. I don't think it's ideal for me to do it in the afternoon.
got it.
Because then I have dinner to
Yeah.
think about, and then things like that, and it's like, oh man. So, but the energy levels definitely do feel like wow. Like I think it's part of that glowing
Yeah.
feeling is that like I feel like wow, I've totally like kind of like cleansed the inside out my like villi, the little things inside the intestine feel like they're just like flowing so much better.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Send them love. And then I don't know how you insert it. I use coconut oil.
I use the same coconut oil. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm right aligned with you on this one. Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to get started?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
So we're gonna start with boiling the water.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple.
Okay.
Do you have that measured out? Are you?
Wait. I'm just wondering because I don't have like the space to do it.
No problem.
Yeah, and just normally like I have like a time in the earlier morning when during the week when folks aren't home. But right now, yeah, it's kind of like a shared situation, and I can't really do it. I feel.
Okay. So you just want like a full-on tutorial, just a tutorial from me.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And with every little educational tidbit is like supreme. Like for example, like all of that probiotic talk was like super on point.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what you wanted to
No
do.
worries.
I wanted to guide you through the way in case it was your first time. But
Okay.
I am totally ready to just show the whole process and talk about it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to guide you to my kitchen, show you the quick process.
Okay.
I got my green bean. So here is the kitchen. Oh, thank you. Oh no, I'm frozen. I think it's this camera. Give me one moment to defreeze. Why am I frozen still? Sorry about that. All right, we're in the kitchen.
Perfect. I see you. Perfect. Yay.
Where my juicing station is, where I just juice a bunch of things. And here is my bag. So I just use a regular spoon, and I take 3 tablespoons of the coffee. And at first, do you know the steps? What's the first?
Let's see. So I start with boiling the water, right? Yeah.
And then how long do you boil? Once the water is boiled and you add the 3 tablespoons, how long do you boil for?
I know it takes a couple moments to boil. I think on here it says
it's okay.
5, like simmer it for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You boil actually for 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Put on the cover and simmer for 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3-minute boil. So I might be over boiling it.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's
right, but still.
You're just trying to get the nutrients out, right? So I put my 3 in here, and now I'm gonna let it boil. I guess I'll take you back to my room.
Got some time.
Perfect. I mean, that's the major gist. Let me see what else I can give you. So once you are done with the boiling process, what's the next step that you do?
Let's see. So I don't have that. Like that would be really cool to have. I have like a sieve, like a little strainer.
Okay.
So I use that for that whole part, like of straining the coffee into the bucket.
Uh-huh.
And then I notice it stays hot for a really long time. So I just put cold distilled water that I still
Mhm.
have and then just kind of top it off.
Yeah. You try to keep it around 4 cups, correct?
Yeah, right. I have been like noticing that if I put too much, it gets like too cold too fast. But then also one time I put the cold water in first and then the hot water, and then it stayed piping hot though. Like, and it was not comfortable.
Yeah.
I
So
was, ugh.
huge, I think important thing you
Mhm,
mentioned there.
mhm,
Do not insert
mhm.
the enema until it is your body temperature. So
Right.
when we were doing, using it on my mom, or if
Mhm,
you're doing it to someone who's
mhm.
not well, even a well person,
Yeah. Just like
um,
touch it with your
we,
hands.
yeah, we even had a
Mm,
thermometer checking that it was 98. So,
mhm,
but yeah, if you touch it with your finger and it's comfortable, warm to the touch,
mhm,
then you're good to go. But
mhm,
never insert it when it's too hot
mhm,
and uncomfortable. That will cause, I don't know what kind of damage, but clearly
mhm,
nothing that we want to experience.
mhm,
Okay, and then next,
mhm,
when you've completed inserting,
mhm,
so first of all, when you put
mhm,
in the coffee,
mhm,
you open the tube and allow all the air bubbles to come out.
mhm,
That's
mhm,
very important.
mhm,
Because
mhm.
you don't want to insert the enema before the air bubbles come out.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm,
And then, what's the typical height that you put the enema above?
mhm. I have this like little like TV tray that I use. So I usually have this like at the foot of my yoga mat. I lay a yoga mat down and then so I can lie down on it. Mhm.
Not my yoga mat.
Yes, exactly. Uh-huh. And then I'll like usually like roll a towel or maybe get two, like one for my head and then one for my legs because the
Mhm.
whole process starts getting uncomfortable after that. So it's just like I want to be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah. So TV tray height. Mm-hmm.
so is that about 18 inches? Would you say?
Uh, yeah, I would say so. That's a
Okay.
foot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the recommended height. I
Yeah.
usually use like my bed stand, even
Mm-hmm.
for me. So,
Mm-hmm.
and anything that it says about 18 inches, but you can
Mm-hmm.
go a little bit more, a little bit less. And then
Mm-hmm.
what happens once the enema starts to like finish up? This is
Mm-hmm.
why there is a handle usually on the bucket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's when it starts to finish up. You pick it up by the handle and you tilt to use the rest
Mm-hmm.
of the enema.
Yeah, finish it. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
you've got like
Uh-huh.
everything. One last question.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Get a book for this. Pop quiz.
Mm-hmm.
What side do you want to lay on?
So let's see here. I know the recommended side is supposed to be your left side, like, but that's what the instructions say. But I feel like I want to do my right side, and I read this because of the liver being on that side.
Perfect. You get $1,000,000.
Yeah.
I wanted to share this in my anatomy book because that is correct. You are focusing, so once the
Mhm,
coffee travels, it comes to the liver and it begins to pump the bile from here. So you are focusing on the
mhm,
right side. And the liver, look at how big it is. Yeah,
mhm,
so it's an incredible organ.
mhm,
The only organ that can self regenerate if it's
mhm.
damaged or cut.
Ooh,
So pretty amazing that we have this organ in our body that can heal
mhm,
itself, right? If we use
mhm,
the right tools. So I usually try to stick to my right side and then a little bit of left, a little bit of downward dog.
mhm, mhm. Oh man, I haven't gotten to a point where I can move yet. Like I feel like the moment I start moving too much, it's like, oh no, I gotta go.
What's
Mhm,
your estimated
mhm,
time that you once you
mhm.
start your timer, how long can you hold it for?
I've tried for 15 minutes, but it's
Okay,
usually like in the 10 to 15 range. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know if I like is there a too long of a time?
Um, I
Mm,
mean, I don't really know. I've
yeah.
never like
Mm-hmm.
seen like the
Mm-hmm.
warnings, but I don't think your body will like,
Let it happen. Mm-hmm.
yeah. But to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I've gone before where I think I dispose of it, and then
Mm-hmm.
like a few hours later, I go to the restroom again and I
Mm-hmm.
have more, and
Mm-hmm.
it's never caused like, it just like sometimes causes, it stays in your gut or in
Mm-hmm.
your somewhere, and it just sits there and then it comes out eventually throughout the day.
Right. Mm-hmm. I've noticed that too because it's still moving some things around.
Hmm.
Um, that's something I've noticed is that it'll come out kind of like in stages, and how I feel it is like it's going through one part of my intestines and then like the next part and then the next part. You can really feel when things are moving
Yeah, exactly.
through. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever experience like bubbles or like where it's like waves, right?
Of like needing to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely in waves. Mm-hmm.
So what they recommend is
Mm-hmm.
if it's really hard, you can also use like a warm, what do they say, like a warm heating pad on your belly to like make
Keep
it
it.
easier.
Okay.
I've never tried it. I just
Mm-hmm.
usually, when it goes in waves, I try to like almost go into a fetal position, and I'm like, I got this,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I distract myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting on my phone for 15 minutes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I try to bring my book or like something
Mm-hmm.
like I'm gonna be productive and
Mm-hmm.
record these 15 minutes and do
Mm-hmm.
something, educational.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I need distractions. I need like
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, like I sometimes because it's a lot of work too. Like I definitely get like a little sweaty and
Mhm.
just like I need to lay down. I definitely know after the whole process I need to take like have like a good half an hour before I do the next thing. It's not like I can just do it and go.
Self-care, it takes time.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Mhm.
that's my biggest gist about
Mhm.
enema
Yeah. Mhm.
overall. What other questions do you have for me?
Let's see here. So I wanted to ask about frequency.
Hmm.
So you mentioned before sometimes you do it once a week, sometimes you do it like once a month. Like what's a good I guess healthy frequency to do it at for someone who's trying to just like detox their body.
Just
Hmm.
healthy, like you're not struggling with anything that you're trying to
Yeah.
expel.
Hmm. But it's just like a time to like detox kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I
Hmm.
feel you.
Hmm.
I would say once to twice a week,
Hmm.
like that is a healthy way. Um, here's an example. You decide on your own here.
Of
When
course.
when a cancer patient does this kind of treatment, they recommend twice,
Hmm.
3 times a day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is because of all the accumulated toxins and all
Hmm.
the cells that need to leave the body. So if you think about it that way, that someone who's that sick can do it twice to 3 times a day,
Hmm.
there isn't really like a too many amount that you can do
Hmm. Hmm.
for a healthy, detoxing body.
Right.
The only
Hmm.
thing is that it's important to replenish. So if you're doing it more frequently, definitely replenishing with the probiotics and the
Yeah. Hmm.
infuses, and
Hmm.
really like allowing your gut flora to absorb
Hmm.
all that before trying to
Hmm.
do the next one. So
Hmm.
yeah, I guess 1 to 2
Hmm.
times a week is my dose of
Hmm.
recommendation
Hmm.
if you're like in a healthy kick. I
Hmm.
was doing a cleanse, which I might do again this week.
Hmm.
You're welcome to
Hmm.
join me. I'm following Dr. Morse right now, who talks about fruits and cleansing with fruit juices and eating as much fruit as you want throughout the day. And when I was doing that, like when I was really serious, like doing a cleanse, I did the coffee enema 3 days in a row.
Okay. So like back to back to back.
I wanted like a good start, like, or what would you say, like a quick
a clean slate. A real clean slate.
And to share a story, I had candida, and that's something that I battled with for a bit. I think it's still like there's still some in my body, and I think in most Westerns, people's body, we have that because it's something that we get from doing antibiotics and not replenishing our gut with good bacteria. So it really helped me, the enema. Obviously, the biggest thing that helped is quitting sugar, which is impossible in this day and age. And I'm just talking about like straight white sugar. I still do like honey and agave and fruit juicing. Actually, when I started the fruit juice, before I even went for the enema, I had more candida leave my body. So that was quite interesting, because I was doing fruit juices, which people say, you can't have fruit when you're cleansing off candida. But I don't know, to each his own. But the enema has definitely helped me throughout my time with candida. I know that coffee enema helps all kinds of symptoms, all kinds. I'm not going to mention anything because I'm not a doctor, but there's this is my personal story.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you are having any struggles throughout your life, you can literally use the Google and see if anyone else was in your shoes once and what kind of protocols they did. And anything to do with the gut, anything to do with the liver and that kind of cleansing, I think that you have to do it from all holes of your body. To be blunt, to really like pick up the journey, like you said, because we can diet, we can fast, we can avoid all kinds of things, but sometimes our body just needs a little extra help.
Definitely. And there's a lot of things we don't realize about it too. Like some things do get stuck inside of our intestines, and then that creates additional blockages and that's something that this process has definitely taught me, is that, you don't even know what corners inside your body things could get stuck in. So it's like, let's just let it go and feel clean.
Yeah, especially when you think how long the intestines is.
Right.
It's like 35. I might be wrong. The intestines is like, probably easier to Google this. Like 35 feet. What is the insane amount of
the small intestines at that?
like,
the small intestines is longer than the large intestines.
Oh man. I mean, just this picture right here showing you how like intertwined it is, like how how there's so many crevices where everything can get like stuck. I think this is what they're showing, like it's like it can be so difficult for the body to move through that.
Yes.
It's called end of the line.
End of the line. I like it.
Yeah, here's what the intestines looks like on the inside. It's just like so, like, right, all angles. So obviously, like taking it to the car wash once in a while, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
With the enema. Yeah. I need to go check on my enema. You can come with me, as we are boiling the water. As you can see, this is already boiling.
Perfect.
It's been 3 minutes, so I'm going to lower it to low, and then I'm going to cover it, covering it with just another pen. And then I'm going to let it simmer for 15 minutes. So at 10:45, it will be ready. And I will be inserting the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to be here for you in case you were doing it with me. But I think that's the gist of it.
Awesome. Okay. Just to ask again, to clean everything, you said hydrogen peroxide?
That is what I use, yes.
Yeah. You just like wipe everything down?
I usually add a little bit into the bucket, and then I let it run all the way down, like through the tube,
Yeah.
And then I wash the end that go, that you insert with, and then I let it sit in water for a little bit, and then
Okay.
That's kind of like
the best way to clean it.
Yeah, because I think like rubbing alcohol or anything like that, you don't want to leave any of that on your bucket or like insert it. So that's why I think this is something that is like friendly to your body.
Yeah.
In a
Okay.
solution.
Awesome.
But always before you start the process, I always want to clean my bucket. Before the process, I just add hot water or warm water. You could just do it from the tap and run the water. And then when you're doing starting with the enema, again, you run the enema and you let a little bit come out before you insert it. And that way, it's been cleaned multiple times.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know because there was no like real explanation afterwards. And I'm like, what do I do with everything?
And then obviously you want to dry it with a paper towel or something.
Yeah.
When you store it away.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
What are you going to do your next
Well, I was actually gonna talk about this. So what are we in August? In July, I did a coffee enema once a week for 4 weeks. So I was doing that and just, definitely learning each time, like what was right, what was wrong, and all that. But with everything that you've put some insight into, like I have a much better foundational understanding of how to do it. I'm thinking about waiting like 90 days from the last time I did it to like try again, just to like have that next time to do it. But I don't see, like, from that 4 weeks of doing it, like I felt like I had a lot of good cleansing come out of that.
And if you don't mind sharing, why do you think that you need to wait 90 days?
I just wanted to be a good amount of time, because like I definitely felt like I didn't want to be dependent on this. Like even after that 4 weeks, it's like I'm not sure if I'm like still going just as regular as I was before, Yeah. So it's like I think my body just needs some time to like get used to it and all that. But it's definitely opened up some doors, so to speak, as to like the whole like going to the bathroom process. So yeah, I just want to give it some time because I don't want it to be like a whole thing every time, You don't
want your body to become dependent.
Yeah, exactly. Or like I wouldn't have like the control that I have now over it, Exactly.
I personally like never really experienced that, so good to hear the different stories.
Yeah, well, hopefully if I'm doing it like right, then it will be good.
Yeah, and hopefully the day before also like no heavy meals.
Right. Okay.
Very light. I mean this should be really like a part of a cleanse that's not this is not the only thing that you do to cleanse. Like you're really starting from the previous day to it's like a 2-day process in my opinion, even 3. So like really the day before, like light milk, juices, and then the day of the enema, juices and like very light meal maybe in the evening.
Awesome. Cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's good advice too, because I don't think I was conscious of that going into this. So I think next time I do like a 4 week sprint, I'll have like a couple days before and after to like fully recover.
Perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool,
Yeah,
cool,
and then
cool.
introduce that good bacteria and
Mm-hmm.
from that space.
Mm-hmm.
Be conscious about what you're putting into your body. I think that's the big thing for me. Like, I once I commit to like, okay, I'm gonna do an enema this weekend, then I like immediately think, okay, well, I
Mm-hmm.
better get my act together and eat really well a few days before even. And then once I do it, I'm like, well, now that I'm all cleansed, like I don't want to just put garbage into my body. I want to
Right. Mm-hmm.
maintain and continue with that health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yay, cool. Thank
Thank
you,
you so much
Masha.
for joining me in my virtual wellness class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yes.
hoping to do more as well as
Mm-hmm.
yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Pause the recording. Do you have any last words?
Um,
Someone who's never tried it before, who's interested in trying it?
Wait, what was the question?
Any words or recommendations or suggestions for anyone who's never tried it before and might be interested but hesitant?
Mm-hmm. You definitely will learn a lot about yourself in the process, and it is a good, healthy thing to do. So I'd say if you have just even it pique your interest or you feel like something's a little off inside your body, to give it that try, so that way you can hopefully feel a little bit better afterwards. A little healthier.
Thank you. Sweet.
Mhm.